There is a place on Earth so dry, it hasn't seen real rainfall in generations. Cracked earth, endless sand. Nothing moves except heat. And on the wall of a cave, in the middle of all that nothing, someone painted people swimming. Arms stretched out, legs kicked back, frozen mid-stroke in stone. In a place where there's nothing to swim in for hundreds of miles in any direction. So either someone was lying 8,000 years ago, or something here doesn't add up. In October of 1933, a Hungarian explorer named Laszlo Almasi was deep in the Sahara, chasing a legend, a lost oasis that may not have even existed. What he found instead was stranger. A shallow cave tucked into a cliff called Gilf Kabir, and inside it, dozens of small human figures painted in ochre, limbs bent exactly like swimmers. He named it the Cave of Swimmers, and 90 years later, we still don't fully agree on what it actually shows. Here's where it gets interesting. Before we even try to explain the cave, there's something strange already living inside your own body. If you put a newborn baby underwater, and please don't try this at home without a professional, something happens automatically. The baby holds its breath, its arms and legs start to paddle. Nobody taught it that. It's not learned. It's already wired in. Scientists call it the mammalian dive reflex. It shows up across almost every mammal, most dramatically in whales and seals, where it slows the heart down to protect the brain on a deep dive. In humans, it mostly fades by 6 months old. But for a little while, every single one of us is born half ready for water before we've ever touched it. So maybe the question isn't how did ancient humans learn to swim? Maybe it's how much of this did we never actually have to learn at all? Which brings us back to the desert. Because archaeologists dated those cave paintings to somewhere between 6,000 and 9,000 years old. And at that time, this wasn't desert. It was grassland, lakes, rivers full of fish. The Sahara used to be green. And for a few thousand years, this cave sat right at the edge of the water. Case closed, right? People swam in the lake, someone painted it on a wall. Except not everyone agrees that's what's happening here. Some archaeologists looked closer and noticed something unsettling. The poses in this cave don't quite match how people actually swim. They match something else. Imagery found later in Egyptian tombs, showing souls floating through the waters of the afterlife. So now there are two competing theories, and they don't just disagree, they completely change what this cave means. One says this is a memory, a record of real people in a real lake doing something they loved. The other says this was never about swimming at all. It's about death, about souls drifting through an underworld ocean forever. And nobody has found anywhere else on Earth that looks quite like it. Which means this cave stays exactly what it's been since 1933, a genuine, unsolved mystery, sitting in one of the driest places on the planet. But step outside that one cave, and the picture gets a lot less mysterious, because swimming, real, documented, undisputed swimming, shows up again and again across the ancient world, completely independent of each other. Egyptian tomb art shows people swimming in the Nile. Assyrian soldiers crossed rivers using inflated animal skins as makeshift floats. And in ancient Greece, swimming was considered such a basic life skill that they had an actual insult for someone who lacked it, calling them a person who could neither read nor write nor swim. In their eyes, not knowing how to swim wasn't just inconvenient, it made you uneducated. Different continents, different centuries, no contact with each other, and yet the same conclusion over and over. Wherever ancient humans settled near water, swimming wasn't an invention, it was inevitable. So here's where we land. Somewhere between a body that's born half ready for water and a skill that seems to reappear independently everywhere water exists, swimming looks less like something humans invented and more like something we simply couldn't avoid becoming. But that cave in the Sahara still hasn't given up its answer. 9,000 years later, we still don't know if those figures are swimmers enjoying a lake that no longer exists, or souls drifting through something we were never meant to understand. So I'll leave that one to you. Swimmers or spirits? Tell me which one you believe in the comments, because right now, even the experts are split.